All right, 2025 Sunset Rewind back at you. Duran, Coach.
That was a request from Uncle Richie. I actually have a really good Duran story, but I'll tell that on the Fan Zone. This is the football review show, but yeah, good stuff.
So another week of games in the books. Who are we going to start with this week?
Let's start with Edison. I'm fired up. It's 6:30. It's Sunday morning. Let's get this thing started. Edison was on the road in Fontana on a Thursday night. Never an easy thing playing Summit. And let's start with the defense. Teo Hampton coming off the edge after a poor exchange. He'd fall on the ball, so the defense would get a big break early on, get the ball back to the Edison offense, and Edison would take advantage of this opportunity. Sam Thompson's going to hand the ball off to Said Edmondson, up the middle, run through tacklers, getting the team into the red zone. From there, Edmondson would take it up the gut, a 2-yard scamper, following the offensive line. And at the end of one, Edison would go up 7-0. All right, we know Summit's a run-heavy team, so it's important they're able to stop that run game, and Micah Rogers would make sure that happened. Tackle for a loss in the backfield all night long. The Edison defense snuffing out that offense. So with the offense getting the ball back, oh, this huddle drives me nuts. Sam Edmondson, great concept here. They're going to fake fly sweep. Edmondson's going to come out of the backfield, down the seam, gets the ball down to the 5-yard line, and from there, Edison would finish off the drive. Edmondson again, 6-yard plunge, up the middle, into the end zone. Edison up 14-0, and that would be the score at halftime. All right, second half action. Edison looking to take control of the game. They would. Cornerback. Jordan Pelez is going to drop back, read the route, jump in front of the route, gets a pick. 6 into the end zone. Edison goes up 21-0 in the third, in full control. However, Summit's got a pretty solid team. They would try to answer. Evan Ramos, their outstanding running back, is going to get the ball, take it up the gut, keeps pumping those legs, doesn't quit, no whistle, so don't stop. He's going to bust it at the outside. He couldn't get it in the end zone, but he would bring it down near the goal line, so an opportunity for Summit to score. So interesting play. It's 21-0. It's the fourth quarter, and they're lining up for a field goal. Now they're going to run a fake, which is a good concept, but not when everybody knows it's coming. You're not going to kick a field goal down 21 in the fourth. Edison's all over it, snuffs it out. So a lost opportunity for Summit. They would get another opportunity later in the game. This time, Evan Ramos would score on the 6-yard touchdown, but it was too little, too late. Edison would go on the road, get the win, 21-10, and get that all-important 5th win.
Edison moves to 5-2 going into the bye week, and they're looking forward to that rest before they get to the Alpha League play. But hey, good win for Edison. That's tough traveling on the road on a Thursday night, especially when you got school the next day. But they take care of business. Good job, Chargers.
Taryn?
Yeah, Mo said it best. It's the all-important 5th win because that guarantees them a 500 record. So I think Edison had to grind this one out, but when you play Summit, it's always a grinded-out win. It's like one of those old-school Big Ten games. So Edison deserves the bye, and here's hoping they could rest up for their Alpha League opener against Los Al.
Yeah, much-needed rest. It wasn't the most exciting game, but they did what they had to do. So you get that rest, which they desperately need, get healthy physically, mentally, and boy, this is setting up a big one against Los Al. Real quick, I want to thank the parents at Edison for sending me the text update so I can post it on X. But their athletic director, Boyce, does a really good job. So follow him on X. He'll give you Edison updates with the plays. So just a little something extra for the Edison community.
All right. Before our next game, let's get a quick word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour, coming to Newport Beach October 7th through the 11th. See the world's best teams compete on the Golden Coast in one of the biggest beach volleyball events of the year. Don't miss the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour, October 7th to the 11th in Newport Beach.
All right, Coach. Looks like we're going to see how Marina did this week.
Yeah, tough one. A battle of 2 4-1 teams. This was the game I was at. Thursday night action. Again, another Thursday game. Marina was home hosting Sunny Hills. Early on, especially in the first half, Marina was in control. The line was shining. Ben Ramos is going to take it up the gut, 20 yards. Nobody's touching him. Helps extend the drive on a first down. The drive would ultimately end with a Francis Saporito touchdown pass to Carson Honeycutt. would catch it short of the end zone, but shaky defender get into the end zone, capping off a 13-play, 94-yard scoring drive. However, Sunny Hills would respond. Mikhail Khan, the quarterback, would find Cruz Sandal, the wide receiver. You gotta tackle. Corner comes up, misses, and turns a 5-yard gain into a red zone situation. From there, they would finish the drive. Khan would find Elias Vorthavorn, the running back, on the swing pattern, so we got a tie ball game. However, Marina would respond. Francis Saporito's going to look left, shoulder shake the safety, gets him to freeze. Now he's got one-on-one coverage with Carson Honeycutt. Touchdown. So at halftime, Edison was controlling the game, but they're only up 7, but they'd go up 14-7, halftime score. Okay, third quarter. A series of weird plays on back-to-back plays. Khan's going to get flushed out, rolls to his left, kind of throws a floater. The receiver Sandal's going to kind of come back and pick it up. So a big gain. And then the very next play, almost identical. Khan gets flushed out, rolls to his left, throws another floater. Another catch by Sandal into the end zone. So just like that, we got a tie ball game. All right, on to the fourth quarter. 3rd and 20. It's a great down to play defense on. Francis trying to make a play, but again, not a lot of options on 3rd and 20. Pierce Sandal would get the interception, so now Sunny Hills has got the ball at the 40, and from there, George Shaletti, a 60-yard scamper into the end zone. So with about 2.5 minutes left, Sunny Hills has taken the lead, but Marina would respond. Francis Saporito would drive his team down the field, following the back into the end zone. So we got a tie ball game, plenty of time left. Marina would get Sunny Hills into a 3rd and 20 situation. A great opportunity to get the ball back and possibly win it. But they're going to look right, then throw the middle screen. Khan to Tyler Kim would extend the drive on 3rd and 18, get a first down, and then Khan would roll to the right, throw to the left. Another screen. Great blocking downfield by the backs. Shaletti would get into the end zone. They take a 21-14 lead with 13 seconds left, and that's how the game went in. 21-14. Marina just came up a little bit short.
Great uniforms Marina had on that game. That was interesting.
All night long I kept getting confused because I'm used to that white with the blue, and I'm like, wait, Marina's the blue team. But anyway.
That's a tough one. That's one that hopefully doesn't come back to haunt Marina. But, yeah, that's one they definitely should have won. No, all due respect to Sunny Hills, but, but their offense, methodical, that long drive they had, that was impressive. And, Carson Honeycutt becoming one of the best receivers in all of Orange County.
Go ahead, Taryn.
Yeah, Sunny Hills has definitely improved. I got to give them credit. But Marina, it's a tough one, but there's still plenty of opportunities, and the league title is still up on the table. So I wouldn't get discouraged if I were Marina. I just got to tweak some things, just make the improvements, make the adjustments, because there's still 4 more league games remaining, and you never know what will happen, especially with the likes of Fullerton being improved, Beckman still being up there, and Kennedy being there, as well as Valencia.
Yeah, Marina controlled the game, but they couldn't take control of it, and you allowed Sunny Hills to hang around. They took advantage of that, and you're right. I don't know if Sunny Hills will run the table, so if Marina can take care of business against Kennedy, Fullerton, and there's one other Valencia, that could possibly set up a showdown with Beckman in the last game of the season, kind of like last year where they're playing for a 3-way tie. So anything's still possible.
They're going to have to win those games for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ben Ramos went out at halftime. He already had 77 yards in the first half, so that hurt them, their running back. But props to Sunny Hills. I mean, Coach Fred Gamble, 2-8 last year. They're off to a 5-1 start. Yeah. So, give them their due.
All right. Up next, the Oilers.
All right, Huntington Beach, the game you're at. I'm just going to preface this. Sometimes Huddle gets really weird. You'll click on a play, and the play's already halfway over. And if you fix it, and then you go back to the play, it reverts to the screw-up. So it happened really bad in this Huntington game. So there's going to be a couple times where I'm fiddling with it, trying to narrate. No big deal, but just giving you a heads-up warning. All right, league opener, Huntington Beach. Cole, cue the music. Early on, Nathan Villanueva pounding that rock, running through defenders. People haven't sat down yet, and Huntington Beach will take an early 7-0 lead. Getting it done on offense and defense. The man of steel, Steel Kurtz, coming off the edge. It's going to bring down the quarterback, cause a fumble. They get the recovery, so now Huntington Beach has got the ball on the right side of the field. And here's a little foreshadowing of what this night was going to be. Edmonds to Foster on the receiver screen. And he's just going to run through the defense. They can't tackle him. He is truly a man among boys. By the way, happy birthday, Troy. Turned 18. I can't think of a better way to celebrate it. Back on defense. Gavin Seguin going to bully the center. Just runs right through him. Brings down the quarterback. Look at shut off that speed, Gavin. Not bad for a defensive tackle. So offense and defense getting it done early. Oh, here's the huddle thing I was talking about. No big deal. I'm on it. All right, more offense. This time, Edmonds to Foster. Too easy. Splitting defenders. It's 23-0. We're still in the first quarter. Huntington Beach is in control. Now, I want you to watch the defender, Dylan Cunningham. This is the hit of the night. He's the safety at the top of the screen. I did circle it. There we go. Watch this guy, Dylan, coming up. Boom, laying the hit. Now, they're going to flag this, but guys, a big hit is not a penalty. I wish the refs would understand that. This is clean. I love it. Sending a message as they end the first quarter. Huntington Beach looking good on defense. All right, more offense, more Edmonds, more Foster. Hike the ball already. All right. Foster on the swing pass. Just runs by the deep. I mean, it's like he's playing the scout team. It's just too easy. This is kind of how you draw it up in practice and hope it works out. So, Huntington Beach looking good. All right, safety blitz. Still Kurtz on defense. The man of steel is going to kind of sneak up. Nobody picks him up, and boom. Bringing down the quarterback. I mean, they were just bullying these guys all night. This was the tale of two different teams. And then right before half, the offense will send a message. Guess who? Edmonds. Guess who? Foster. Now look, you got 7 guys in perfect position to close in on this, right? Should be about a 6-7 yard gain. Not going to happen. Just running through, around, and by defenders. We're still in the first half, and records are already being broken. 37-7 at the halftime. Cue that running clock, but we're not done yet. Neither is Huddle. All right. Any guesses who this is going to be to? Foster. Catch it. Should be tackled. He's not. Stiff arm. Break a tackle. Break another tackle. Breakaway speed. I mean, again, John Madden on freshman mode. I'm running out of ways to describe this. And actually, believe it or not, they do have other receivers. Edmonds would find the man of steel. Still Kurtz. Just catch it and bullying people into the end zone. So, at that point, it's 51-0. Now late in the game, Huntington Beach is just trying to run this clock. Dude, Huddle, I'm really going to have an issue with you. Huntington Beach trying to run the clock out. Nathan Centilla is going to run the clock out. He's going to run this ball to PCH. No one's going to touch him. 66 yards. We'll put a stamp on this one. 65-10. Huntington Beach would win this. This was blowout city. Great win. Record night. Guys, give me your thoughts.
The film does not do this game justice. That was a great football play on that hit, as you illustrated. Troy Foster was unstoppable, as was Brady Edmonds. As Taryn would say, this was a masterclass, Huntington Beach offense, and what a fun atmosphere. It was also homecoming, so congratulations and welcome home.
What a way to
welcome
the alumni.
Uncle Richie, and boy, what a way to celebrate homecoming. Huntington Beach just looking awesome. Got a tough test this week against La Habra, so hopefully it was funny. We were joking up in the booth. Maybe if there's some rule that Huntington could take some of those points from that game to the
Wouldn't
La
that be
Habra
nice?
game. Yeah, but great job, Huntington Beach.
All right, T-Dog.
Yeah, this was a very convincing win by Huntington Beach. They basically made a statement knowing that they are one of the top dogs when it comes to this league. I really think that Huntington Beach does have a lot of potential. I'm hoping that they didn't reveal too much and they didn't use up all their touchdowns because, like Kevin said, La Habra is going to be a big-time game, and this could be the de facto matchup for the Epsilon League title.
Yeah, it's a payback game. They lost a heartbreaker to La Habra last year. If you've never been to La Habra, it's a great environment. When that stadium is packed, yeah, it's a great place to go.
And
Foster,
a great snack bar, too, the barbecue and everything there.
Yeah, it's not just the gross chips and popcorn. They really have a snack bar. Foster's closing in on county record. I think we'll talk about that in
fan zone.
Okay, yeah. So
got some numbers there.
okay,
yeah.
good. So big win for them. Payback next week. I got to give props to one kid from Laguna Beach Hills, Nathan Mame, the field goal kicker. He kicked a 51-yarder from the right hash.
It was impressive.
I almost put in the highlights, but
no, I was on the sideline when he hit that. It was and he still had 5, 6, 7 yards to go. Like it was easily through.
Hey, if you're a D1 program who needs a kicker, I got a guy at
Absolutely.
Laguna Hills who might fit your billing.
He might be one of the best kickers in the county. Yeah.
It was
find me a better one.
and it was like dead center too. Like he struck it pure.
All right, good stuff. Congrats to Huntington. All right, from happiness to heartbreak. These gutty little sailors just can't find a break. Newport Harbor was on the Taryn. They were on the road at Tesoro, a game that we all thought they'd win. They look good early on. My man, Glenn Baranowski's going to drop back, sees that the quarterback's going to try to scramble. He's going to seek him out like a heat-seeking missile. Harbor playing great defense early on. They continue to play defense on the next series. This time, Cruz Marcella, arm under around the right tackle, gets the sack. So defense doing all they can to keep the offense in it. The offense would finally take charge in the second quarter. Jake Muir off Trey Q is going to pull it. Follows that line. They're not going to touch him. Picks up about 20 yards. So they finally got something cooking on offense. From there, he'd continue the drive. This time, Muir would find Jackson Strimick over the middle. Gets his team even closer. Then they would finally end the drive with the touchdown. Muir is going to drop back. Nothing there. He's going to be forced out of the pocket. It's going to scramble to the right. Still looking. Nothing. So he's going to tuck the ball under. Dive into that end zone, so he would give his team a 7-0 lead. The halftime score would be 7-3, but Tesoro would come back in the third quarter. Nick Brubaker, great name by the way, would get in there out of jumbo. So Harbor would find themselves trailing 7-10. They're going to need a big play on defense. They would get it. Trevor Glenn, this is called I want it more than the receiver. Just going to jump up, rip it from him. Great effort by Trevor. Nice job. So that interception would give them the ball as Harbor's trailing, then the offense would take advantage of the opportunity. Muir's going to look down the near sideline, step up in that pocket, throw it deep down the middle, going for broke. Shane McKibben, the 48-yard completion with pass interference. So now they'd set up shop in the 6, pound it down. Finally, Baranowski out of jumbo would get up in there, giving the Sailors a 14-10 lead in the fourth quarter. More defense. Now look, Tesoro's driving, trying to get the lead. And Baranowski's going to make a great hit. You tell me if this is a flag. I mean, the helmet doesn't touch him. I got to show you this again. This is just, referees, a big hit is not a penalty. I get protecting the kids, but there was no helmet. There was no launching his body. First down, extends the drive, and guess what? Brubaker is ultimately going to get into the end zone. So now Harbor's trailing 17-14 late in the game. He'd fumble, but it was after he'd crossed the line. So, late in the game, Harbor's going to drive down. It's going to come down to 4th and 10. Muir's going to drop back, 4th down. He's got Jackson Strimick wide open, steps in the throw. The defensive lineman gets a hand on it, knocks it down. And just like that first game where the dumb luck with the defensive lineman hand in the air, Harbor just comes up short. A couple bad breaks, a couple bad calls, and that's the difference between 1-0 and 0-1 in league.
Yeah, they're so close in all of their games. I mean, it's almost like the Thomas Edison thing, inventing the light bulb. Fail 10,000 times and then be successful. That's, Newport Harbor is going to get there. They're going to get there. They're so close in all these games.
Yeah, but when they're running out of time.
I still have faith in the Sailors. Baranowski's a dude, and yeah, that was not a penalty. You see them improving every week. And Muir, is poised. He steps up in the pocket. He doesn't panic. The O-line seems to be doing a good job. There's just that one element missing. And when they figure that out, they're going to win these games.
Taryn?
Yeah, if you've seen Tesoro Newport Harbor in the past, you know that it always comes down to the last few seconds. That was the case last year, and that was the case the year before. So you knew it was going to be a barn burner. So unfortunate for Newport Harbor. It's another case where they lose a one-score game, and they had the lead at some point in the fourth quarter. So they really got to step it up now. But you see that schedule, it's very daunting from top to bottom. So we'll see what they can do next week.
Yeah, I hate to be redundant, but they are a fun team to watch. They're just not winning those games. It's that simple. I love breaking down their games. I mean, it's exciting to see how the thing unfolds, and it's heartbreaking at the end, but they are a fun team to watch. They've got talent. Their season basically comes down to Battle of the Bay, because if they come up short, they're not going to beat San Juan Hills, Yorba Linda, and Villa Park I mean, they could, but good luck with that.
Well, speaking of Battle of the Bay, the other team involved, CDM, guess what? We still have 2 undefeated teams on Sunset Rewind.
Last but certainly not least, this was the game of the week. I saved it for last. This was an outstanding ball game. So Friday night, I did the Thursday game.
Right.
I was at home watching this game, listening to Huntington, and then on my phone I had the Harbor game going on. I couldn't have been happier. I was just sitting there watching all this unfold.
Were you at the command center?
I was at the command center, had my beverage with me, and man, if I had died that night, just know I would have died a happy man. 'Cause, that was a good time. Okay, let's get into this. Defense wins championships, and CDM's playing great defense. Cannon Cook's going to come off the edge, disrupt the exchange. So early on, Cron Del Mar is going to force a fumble, allowing the offense to take over. Oh, gosh, I did not turn off end zone. Bear with me. This takes 2 seconds. I even put that in my notes. Let's watch it again. Cannon Cook coming off the edge, disrupting the exchange, fumble. CDM would set up shop on the 25-yard line. From there, Brady Annette, who had a monster night, would find J.J. Haley, 25-yard touchdown pass. So, upset alert early on, 7-0 CDM. San Juan Hills would try to get back into it, but Will Chavez, the corner, quarterback and receiver are not on the same page. They're going to say he was down at the 1-yard line, which is into, the momentum certainly took him in the end zone. Not a problem, because there, Annette would get the offense going. First, he'd find Garrett James on the near sideline. Then, he'd find his other outstanding wide receiver, Dorstedt Secker. Great ball, great catch. Moving the ball in a net again to James. It's going to get flushed out of the pocket. Buys time. He's as good as anybody at that. Great job by the receiver coming back to the ball. So now it's 14-0. Second quarter, we are officially on upset alert. Before the half, Cash Pershaw would get the interception, jump in front of that route. Looks like he can take it all the way, but they would pull up just a little short. They'd have to settle for a field goal, but CDM would go into halftime up 17-0, looking good. All right, second half, an opportunity for them to extend their lead. Annette on 3rd and 12, looking, nobody there. So they extend the play, shaking defenders. Can he get the edge? He can. Now he's just got to turn it up, launching into that defense, gets a huge first down to keep the drive going. And then from there, probably one of the best plays you're going to see. He's going to drop back, looking, nothing. He's got a defender closing in on him. The throwing shoulder spins, wiggles, shakes, back to the end zone. Dorset Stecker just... I can't say enough about Annette, his ability to work that pocket. Okay, now the defense would continue to dominate. I want you to watch Scott Anderson and Arshawn Habibi, the defensive end, the outside linebacker, are going to come up and basically sandwich the quarterback from San Juan Hills. He just had a rough night. He couldn't get anything going. More defense. Now, actually, Annette is human. He threw an interception, but is on the 1-yard line. He can't be perfect. So, great opportunity for the defense for CDM. They take advantage. Damian Zeno Herrera is going to come off the edge. They don't touch him, and they're going to pay the price. A safety. CDM's defense fittingly gets a score. They certainly earned it. 26-0. Now, fourth quarter. CDM will put a stamp on it. Annette is going to roll to the right, throw back to the left on the skinny post, backside to James. 33-0. CDM basically shut this team out. It would be 33-10 final, but that was, junk at the end. So, thoughts?
First of all, Sea King Nation, I apologize. I was wrong. I hope you will forgive me.
Don't forgive them.
San Juan Hills, I thought, was one of the best kept secrets in Southern California. They're a good football team, but what CDM did to them, Sea King Nation, I apologize. I apologize. I was wrong, and I will be eating some crow on the Fan Zone episode.
Get that cereal box out, Taryn.
Boy, the throws that Annette is making, that back shoulder throw to James, and the way he scrambles, and then the receivers having, the insight to, they know their quarterback's under duress, they come back, it's to the ball. they're all on the same page. Stecker and James and Hart and Haley and Annette. CDM is legit.
I've said this ad nauseum. His pocket presence is just so outstanding. The way he buys time. Sometimes he scrambles. Sometimes he just keeps the play alive. And he finds those receivers. And the receivers do a good job working back to the quarterback, working back to the ball. You're right. They're on the same page, and it shows. Taryn?
Yeah, this was a very dominant effort from Corona Del Mar. San Juan Hills had averaged about 30-ish points per game, maybe a little under that, but they were held to just 10. And obviously, Mo said it best. They did get a late score via, I wouldn't say garbage time, but when CDM had its backups in. But I talked with Robert Frith, the San Juan Hills coach. He said CDM dominated in all three phases of the game, and he said that they're underrated. And I think we talk about best kept secrets in Orange County. Corona Del Mar might be the best kept secret in Orange County and maybe California as well, because this win is definitely probably a season changer and a program changer and maybe a state changer. So watch out for Corona Del Mar, especially since this gives them the edge over the Stallions in the Bravo League.
You know, we've talked about their offense week after week after week, but we need to start acknowledging the defense. Because they're every bit as responsible for the success as the offense. Guys like Cook, Chavez, Persall.
They shut down that San Juan Hills offense.
Anderson, Habibi, Herrera, all these guys. I mean, they are making plays. They're generating turnovers. And yes, that is a very, very good San Juan Hills offense. All those guys, D1 guys, returning starters, all league players, player of the year type guys. So shout out to them. They're looking good. And the last time they started off 6-0, they had a pretty good season. So we'll see if this continues.
All right. And now a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour, coming to Newport Beach October 7th through the 11th. See the world's best teams compete on the Golden Coast in one of the biggest beach volleyball events of the year. Don't miss the Volleyball World Beach Pro Tour, October 7th to the 11th in Newport Beach.
Okay, Coach. Fountain Valley this week. Didn't quite get any game film from them.
No, and that's fine. I think they were down 50-0 at one point.
Okay.
They're a couple years away. Next year when they re-league, the league they're in right now, the Foxtrot's got Dana Hills, Laguna Beach who's 6-0, Orange is good. They got a sophomore quarterback. They're only going to get better. I know it's frustrating for these guys. And thank you for Jill Elroy again sending me updates. My heart breaks for these kids because we've had them in the studio a couple times now. They're good kids. They work hard. They're playing better competition, and I don't care how good you are. There's always somebody better. So keep your heads in it. Keep battling. You still got a couple games left in your season, and anything's possible. Hey, just ask UCLA.
Yeah.
Anything is possible, right?
This is not College Rewind.
Well, no, but I did want to mention that Miami did beat a certain other school from Florida yesterday. That also took place. Oh, and San Diego State is 4-1, by the way. Okay. Another great week of football. Hey, I was able to catch up, get some interviews at the Huntington Beach game. Logan Gray and Nathan Villanueva. You can find that on my X account, and it should be posted soon to our Sunset Rewind
Taryn, you did some interviews too, right?
Yeah.
Who'd you get?
I got Kevin Heddig, JJ Haley, Brady Annette, and Cash Pearsall.
Sweet.
All right, that's going to do it.
And I did a recap of the game as well.
No, your recaps are always great. We always appreciate that. Another great week of games in the books. Some surprises there that we obviously didn't see or didn't anticipate. We'll talk about that more in the fan zone. So thanks for tuning in. Hey, we're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. Please like and follow us on YouTube. Go to all the social media
by the way, we
outlets.
just hit 3K on Instagram. Did you see that?
Thank you.
Yeah, so
3K.
thank you.
Yeah, Nate Gervin texted us that.
Yep.
So
Growing slowly but surely.
remember, X, Instagram, TikTok, social media accounts. Go to sunsetrewind.com for all content related to Sunset League sports, not just football. Got a whole bunch of great stuff on there. As usual, thank you to Cole Menzinger, our wonderful director and producer. Karen, best reporter in the business. And, of course, Coach Mo Padios, the best at film breakdown there is. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We'll be back next week as we move further into league. Some more great games. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week, everyone. Be nice to each other. Take care, and God bless.
Check out everything at sunsetrewind.com.